I've been acting like a fucking demon. Shorty think she mine, got her tripping. Ego where I ain't wanna chip in.
What are you cooking up, bro? Like,
Ladies ain't the problem cause I swim like the Olympics. Got around my neck and I'm flexing like a gym inside.
Yo, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. We can't give him the whole track on one. Yo, we can't give him the whole track, bro.
Go listen to that.
Hold on. Before we even get this started, my name is Andrew Coley. I'm a part of this podcast. Y'all know what it is. To my immediate left.
You got your boy Rohan Chambers, Mr. Remarkable. I'm always here.
And to my right is our special guest today. You heard us mention him in the podcast before when we interviewed Rocky the Wave God. And now we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Producer himself, one of my personal favorite producers in the game. A man that's helped me, reach new plateaus and new levels. The Majik Man.
Hey, bro. Crazy introduction, honestly. I wasn't expecting that.
So good. Yo, at this podcast, we try to give people their flowers and try and, tell them how we feel about them straight forward, bro.
And then off camera, we just like...
No, we shit on you straight. But that's for friend love, though. That's how we're supposed to do it.
Facts.
So, yo, now that we've got the intro and the rest of the thing, we played this track, but how does it feel to actually, I think this is your second single now?
It's my first single as, an artist, my debut single. It feels good. It feels good, bro. Honestly, it's a different vibe now. Before, I was just focused on beats and producing and engineering for people. And I've been doing that for a couple years now with some dope artists. And I was able to just kind of pick up a lot of things along the way. Now I'm just kind of, trying the thing myself, trying to do the artist thing myself. And so far, I really I'm having fun with it, so.
Well, I think that was the whole anticipus of being an artist. If you ain't having fun, then why do it, right?
It's about figuring out where, in your creative process, something that's fun for you to do, you don't have to force it, and just to, enjoy the process, not think about it too much kind of thing.
No, I agree with you. Now the real question is, where did you get the name Majik? Because I know it's because you cut up magical beats and it's from that fluid that we be drinking in the studio and be getting in the right zone sometimes. But where did the name Majik come from?
There's many stories about it. There's many stories about where the name came from. But the true story was when I was first started recording people in my apartment when I was going to school to be an audio engineer.
Okay.
We were recording these songs, and then some guy said on the song, it's like magic, something like that, and it kind of stuck. And then after that, people started calling me Majik, but then the other thing that was big that made me stick with it, I found the tag before I found the name.
That's genius.
Okay.
I found the "Do You Believe in Magic?"
Yeah.
That's genius.
Someone said that on the song, and then I heard the song, "Do You Believe in Magic?"
Yep.
And I was like,
I need that. Yo, the light bulb.
So it's just that's how it happened, really.
Well, I got the name LIP, so that's from my friend. Same, I think a lot of us, the way we created our personas, our alter egos, all come from your experiences. So that's actually pretty dope.
And most of the time when you do get a nickname or something like that, it's when you're established by your peers. It doesn't have as much run as if something you created yourself, because then you have to explain to everybody why it's there. But
and it's such a easy. I feel like it's such an easy name for people to create stories on and shit. On how it was found. Because we joke about it in the studio with the people I work with, but...
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, plus, it works towards your commerciality, too, right? It's not a hard name where you're going to have to, justify it.
That was the whole point, too, was something easy for people to just kind of lock in.
Right. Well, I already told you need jazz hands. You need one of those, white girl, Vanna white girls just appear out of nowhere. It's like magic.
Oh
every 5 seconds he says that. We've been telling him forever. You just insert Vanna white hands here.
People say that I should start rocking the hat.
The magic ball hat? Oh, yo, I'm telling you right now, if you rock it, you heard it here first. Yo, we're going to get one of those for Majik ASAP.
Yeah.
But
at least get him a T-shirt.
Facts. I'm telling you, with the Magic hat on it, like a rabbit popping out of it.
No, I'm definitely going to do some merch soon, so...
For sure. That's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah. All right, well, next step out of the production, because I've noticed that you have a production style like no other. you tend to stay away from the norms of like what other producers are doing every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if our audience will key on this later when they start picking up on your music, but for me, I've noticed that your production style is a lot different. What gives you the ear for like somebody like, let's say me, I come inside the studio and I want it to sound a certain way, but yet you have a way of kind of like twisting it and kind of like morphing it into something new, but actually sounding the same way. How do you find a path?
So I think what the biggest part is the amount of music that I listen to and the vibes that I catch from listening to different music. Like, I don't have the average playlist. It's kind of like...
like, give us something out of your playlist.
I'll be listening to, like, 70s soul, disco. I'll be listening to some, like, cartel Mexican mariachi shit.
All of it, so yeah.
And then I listen to, like, the new shit. But the whole thing is... I try to incorporate those vibes and that feeling, like, as you do a lot of soul, like vocals. So I try to incorporate that soul feeling with the new age sound type of thing. Like, I mean, it's really just using trap drums and 808s on your songs, but you have to do it in a way where it fits with the sound of whatever the sample or the vibe that you're trying to go for.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. I noticed you have the ability to kind of, like, find that seam where a lot of guys, if you go in the studio with them, like, artists will tell you, you go in to meet an engineer, you think that you have a vibe you want to listen for, but they have a vibe that they've already created. What they're trying to do 90% of the time is sell you the vibe they've already created.
I try to create a vibe.
That's what I'm saying. I noticed you create.
Like, and it's not easy process. Usually people do this with one artist and they dedicate their whole life to that. But for me, the people that I work closely with, I try to just make it so whatever we create is theirs. You know?
So you take yourself out of it?
I can't go make a song with Rocky and create a sound with Rocky and come use the exact same sound on you.
That's true. So that's what I'm saying. You let that person live, and basically you take yourself out of it.
It's a building process from the first session. The first session is usually shit. It's like just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Like listening to some shit. Honestly, just having a convo, just trying to figure out what the artist wants to do, type of thing. And then once we figure out what we're going for, then we just have to start recording. Even if it's on something that you wouldn't normally go on, we start recording. Song after song, you figure it out.
That's lesson number one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think that because you walk into the room with an engineer, you're automatically going to get the song you want.
No, you have to work. It's like, it's a
process.
It's a process, man. You have to work together to figure it out. Once I figure it out, it's locked in. Once the artists figure it out, they have to... Like, I know what they want now, but they have to maintain that, and keep going with that.
All right, so my next question for you is, what are your inspirations, like, in the music game? Like, what took you to the place where you are? Like, I know you listen to it sonically, but somebody in the producer game that actually makes you go, damn, like, I need to get there.
In the producer game?
Yeah, like, anything, like, in music in general. Like,
okay, I was going to say 2 names. Andre 3000.
Bro, you get mad shit. Like, I'm gonna hit some bells for that one.
And for producers, honestly, I have way too many. I could give you my current favorite producer, or I can give you my all-time favorite producer.
Give me both.
Okay, all-time favorite producer, you got to give it to, like, Timbo, Scott Storch.
Hard.
Like, that combo is...
That's legendary, bro. That's legendary.
And then, honestly, for the new producers, Weezy's going stupid. Weezy is killing it right now.
That guy is hard.
So him, Jetson Made is sick. Like, all these guys, these new guys are going crazy. And honestly, that's where my love for music lies, like production. Even though I'm doing the artist thing now, it's like artist thing too. Let me just add that on.
No, it's a part.
It's really the production that my thought process.
That switch?
When I'm making a song, my thought process is of a producer's. Like, I'll spend 30 minutes, let's say, recording the song, the main parts of the song.
All right, well, take me through a session then. Let's say you walk into the door now. Take me through, you recording your first song?
Okay, so basically, I'm very picky with the beats. It's really hard for me to go on my own beat sometimes. So
I can understand that. I'm picky. I'm picky about my own voice, so I can understand like that being.
So once I find the right beat, I basically come up with a basic idea of the song, and then it's just a freestyle process of just like every 2 bars, instead of writing it down most of the time, usually I have some like initial ideas written down, and then I'll build on those.
So you're just basically trying to pen it out at the beginning to give yourself an idea, and then go through the vibe, and then build with the vibe as it goes through.
Yeah.
All right. So step 2. Once you've accomplished the penning, the step, like how do you approach it now as a producer?
Once I lay down the song, like the main part of the song, the main vocals, I just lay them down. Even though if they sound spaced out, kind of odd in the beginning, I just let it be, because I spent a very small time on laying down the main parts of the song, and then I spent about 2 hours on arrangement and the ad-libs and the layers.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what order you want to put that in, but like...
No, that's usually how I do it.
That's literally, I'll sit there for a couple hours just figuring out the best places, because sometimes, like, not sometimes, that's what makes...
It's a lot of the times, because
that's
the space...
listening, keeping the same motif in the song, motif, I don't know if you pronounce that shit, but keeping that same thing, and then having something to keep you listening in the background, whether it's cut-offs of the beat, where it's ad-libs,
slow downs, like whatever you want,
slow downs, breakdowns, like...
So you're almost applying science to the construction of the melody.
Well, a lot of people don't get to see the inner work. That's why I'm asking you, because like a lot of people don't seem to understand a lot of work that it takes to actually produce and make a song. We finally have an engineer / songwriter / artist in the building, so I wanted to ask him about the working process of how do you get to these steps, because a lot of people ask me as an artist, yo, how do you make a song, or yo, can I get do you any free studio time, or you got any person that's like that number one question you get asked. But they don't seem to realize how much actual work it takes. Like, you don't just walk into a studio, make a song, and then walk away. The producer or the engineer now has to spend 8 to 6 hours working. So I wanted to highlight that for people to understand, because I got a lot of my producer friends who, like, they get flack when they say, yo, I want to charge you $500 for a beat. And people are looking at them like, what do you mean about 500? No, because like you don't understand the night, like the four, like it's nothing, right?
If $500 for a beat is nothing.
That's what they don't understand. It's like the level of what you have to be. You get basically, from what I understand about music is, for me, is you get in what you put in. Like, if you don't build with somebody and somebody ain't willing to build with you, you gotta have that time and that energy.
You have to do it first for people to actually see it. Like, for me, I feel like when transitioning, it was kind of like, because I was a producer, I thought everything would come so easy being an artist. But like, people don't take you serious actually until you actually do it. You know, once they see it, then.
Like, how do you know who to charge?
How to what?
How do you know who to charge in the industry? Like, because I know there's friend contracts. Like, when it comes to production, there's less that people.
Honestly, if it's a dope artist and they want to, like, for anybody out there, you want to get shit done, invest in yourself. That's it. Like, it's not who I'd work with. It's like who's willing to work.
Invest in themselves.
I'm willing to work with anybody that's willing to invest in themselves. If you're not going to invest in yourself, why should I go and invest
your time, your energy,
my time on you when you're not even investing in yourself in the first place?
Yeah. See, I look at it this way. It's like, my rule of thumb is, if I'm going to expect somebody to work for me, I'm going to have to put in as much work as that person is. So even more, actually. Like, my whole thing is at 60-40. If I don't put in 60% of the energy and then let that person... Because here's the thing, I'm going to fall sometimes. I may stumble. Then that other person's 10% or 20% may carry me 1-2 times. But it's better for me to be carrying it at 60 before I need to ask you for a favor.
Because your producer, whoever your producer is, whoever the producer you're working with at the time is, they're not just working with you.
They're creating. It's like
they're trying to serve so many people, and everybody has all these expectations, and then like I find it's really hard for producers and engineers to actually get paid. Like, you know what I mean? That's how it is. That's what kind of made me shift into the whole artist thing too. You know what I mean? it just made me think of it like, yo, honestly, if people are not gonna invest on themselves, I'm just gonna invest on myself.
Well, that's what I was gonna say to you. Is the reason why I've seen. Like, I ask these questions because business is the hardest thing for artists to understand when getting into the industry. And the reason why I pivot to the next point is, when you think about ownership for self in the next 5 to 6 years, like, where do you see Majik? Like, do you see, is it as a brand? Do you see it as just an artist?
Yeah,
or do you
big
see
brand, probably, like a very household brand. Almost like you'd see it.
Like, you want you want them shirts, you want people walking around with the hats.
Everything. Nah.
I think you just want to be recognized. Like, you reach that level where people hear that beat and it's just like, yo, that's a Majik beat. And then you hear the drop and you're like, I was right.
Yeah.
You know?
At that point, I feel like Majik beats and Majik will be two different things. Like, my beats will have its own thing, and then my artist side would have its own thing. Like, and I'm hoping that they're both very developed, because anytime I'm not recording, I'm making beats, or like mixing.
Oh, you live in the studio. I can tell.
So
I know.
It's, I'm pushing on both of those things still.
All right. So what my next? Well, unless you got it, because
I mean, I was just gonna ask him because he brought it like always in the studio. So it's just like, for all those people who are looking to partner up with an engineer, like, why would you say someone who advocates for the studio is better for those guys compared to those guys who are like, yo, let's just work from home, like that kind of like.
Okay, so it depends on the person. Some people know what they're trying to go for, and then when they try to go do it, their skills of engineering or production are not up to par with their actual artist, like, just being an artist and a vocalist or
that sounds
a rapper.
like me. And
then they find an engineer or producer that gets them to that easily.
Okay.
So that's what they should be really looking for. Then for people that have both those things, record from home.
Oh, okay.
If you have both of those things, don't.
You have both of those trace skills. You don't really need anybody.
Still collaborate with people, of course. But like, if you can do both those things, produce yourself, mix yourself, master yourself, do it.
That's where the bag is.
Just do it. Put shit out.
I mean, like, really outside of music, what's the biggest inspiration? Like, where do you get what tugs at the heartstrings? Like, is it the like seeing yourself being a philanthropist in the next 10 years, or is it like take care of your family? Like, what drives you?
Honestly, of course, family always comes first for me. And then I want to see a lot more collaboration out here. Not so many, like, I just want to see a lot of music being created from here and people working together. If that makes sense.
No, I see your point, because I've seen
exactly, because honestly, if people work together, we'll just rise up so much.
I've seen you put together camps where you have 6, 7, 8 producers who don't know each other in the building, and like they just work together, and all of a sudden they got collabs, and like I've seen you put together
these relationships with people, so it's everybody's cool. That's where I see it. If I can do that, I'd be happy with that. But that's, I guess, a goal, to just make things better.
All right, and then my next question is to you: what is the most fun about being a producer? Like, what's that one thing that you can always look back to when you're like 90 years old and go,
the 808s.
I'm dying.
That part is the best part out of making a beat, man. I'm telling you.
I'm dying. Yeah, I've seen the look on your face when you get to the beat, you get to the drums.
But yeah.
Is it here's
the whole process.
I was gonna say, like, what part of the process is the most satisfying? Is it the making of the beat, the coming up with the idea, the finishing off of the song? Like, what is it as a producer that gives you the most joy?
The final song is the most satisfying thing. Like, it's a great feeling when you created a beat, you put an artist on it, and it's a finalized song, and it sounds good, and you're happy with it. That's the best feeling. The most satisfying feeling. Sometimes I hear a beat when I make it, and I won't think of it to be a great beat, because like my mind, let's say as an artist, is not
the same as somebody else.
Yeah. But then Rocky will come through and he'll be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. And then when he puts his vocals down, I hear it in a whole different way. I'm like, oh shit, this is not.
Well, I've messed with you a few times doing that.
Yeah, you too. It's like, wow, like I didn't even expect you could put soul vocals on this beat, but like you can. You know, I just didn't think of it like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, I mean, when you arrange music, how long does it like take you before you realize it's crap, or is it good?
Everything. So like I'll just do a basic arrangement of the beat, record the artist on it, and then after when I'm mixing, I'll revision the arrangement because it's everything. Arrangement is everything.
How long till you know something's shit?
When I've listened to it so many times, and I get like
how do you tell an artist that you've worked on and like they've recorded it with you, you've gone through the process, and you're like, this is shit?
I have to straight up tell them. Like, it's not gonna tell them like this is shit. I'm just gonna tell them, you're gonna re-record these vocals or something.
We're gonna put this in a different way.
Yeah.
Just like my name is on this, so you gotta make it right.
Yeah. No.
All right. Final question of the day, and anybody in the group can hit it, and this way we can all decide on the last final points. I'll let our guests go first. In today's climate and today's times, what do you feel like the best thing? Like, do you protect your own personal interest? Do you look at how far in like 10 years, or like financially, how, like, especially in today's market, like knowing that being a producer, being an MC, being like, it's practically almost dead for us at some points. How do we future-proof ourselves?
Keep working. Take advantage of this time of being home.
Yeah.
And do what you need to do to keep working and get your shit out there, because you know there's a lot of people that don't do music or don't have some type of like creative thing to do, where they have nothing to do. They just are locked in their house, looking at the ceiling, looking at TV. And you get sick. That's sick on your brain. That can fuck you up mentally. You know what I mean? So as artists, we have one thing that keeps us like going, and it's creating. So like I feel like all artists should create as much as possible right now. You know, all the emotion, everything that they have, put them on these fucking songs. And I promise you, like, something good will come out of it. Honestly.
Bro?
So yeah, build on that. Kind of like reconnect and recharge. You know, take an opportunity to like reconnect to like your inspirations or your original core skill set, and you know, recharge the creative process, because there's always a need for people to make content, produce, and create, and kind of bring that like magic to the world, so to speak. And so
bars.
Yeah, so just to be able to do that and like improve your craft too, right? Something might need refinement, and you know, this is a perfect opportunity for you to sit down and be like, whether or not it's generating the next beat, or like learning a skill set to create that new art, or working on your pitch and candor to reach certain melodies and stuff like that. There's work to be done.
Thanks. And I'm going to pivot on the last point that I think this is the time for those who don't have many things to do, or those who don't have much to do. This is the time for self-reflection. This is the time to take the time and fix the inner demons that you have, the things that don't necessarily work out for you the most.
To better yourself.
Facts. Yeah. Then the second thing is, and the third thing is just like, after you've taken that time and of actually fixing the things that are working for yourself, fix relationships that you have with people. Go back and take the time to actually look at yourself and understand that the reason why a lot of people don't take the time out for you may not because you had the greatest relationship with them. And it could be 1 or 2 times that you've put them in a bad space, or you put yourself. Just allow yourself, after you've healed, to be seen in a better light. And then the third point, love everybody like you expect it to be loved. Because in a time where love is so short and love is so basically so few, give as many people love as you can get back. Because now, while you are trapped in the house, that person that's beside you needs you to love them even more. Yeah. Because they're trapped in the house.
Bro, you don't know what it means to
you know what I mean? Like people, you don't hear from, those people who don't have anybody. Be thankful when you have somebody to sit at home with and spend some time with, even though you spent the 58th day in a row and haven't left the house, and you're mad as shit at each other and they ate the last Cheeto. Like, I don't care. Love on them. Why? Because that person was there for you for 58 days. The 59th day doesn't give you the reason to stop loving them. And that's the way I end my point.
All right, then.
Everybody give your socials. I am Andrew Coley, a.k.a. LIP, the Lord _905 or Lord 905 on their Instagram.
Me?
Yes.
At Majik Beats, MAJIK Beats on Instagram. New song just dropped. Go listen to
go
it.
hear it.
Yeah, plug that up.
On my own. Just look it up.
You already know. And?
Yeah, you can find Mr. Remarkable. You can find me at Mr. Remarkable on Instagram. And yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, all the links to all his favorite yummy content's in the description, so check it out.
And we actually made it through a show without me saying welcome.
Yeah. He said himself.
Shorty, this shit mine got a trip. You with a high